Welcome to the Spirit of a Badass, where we celebrate stories of courage, hope, and resiliency. I am your host, Alecia Jacobson. Have you been feeling exhausted, disconnected from yourself, or like you're constantly taking care of everyone else while quietly wondering, what about me? If on the outside your life looks fine, but deep down you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unfulfilled, that's where I come in. I help women stop going through the motions and start creating a life that actually feels like theirs again. Through one-on-one coaching, we work on your habits, mindset, boundaries, routines, and the bigger question of who you are and what you actually want. You don't need another self-help book. You need support, honesty, accountability, and space to figure out what's next. If this sounds like you, click the link in the show notes and book a discovery call with me. You will leave the call with a plan and knowing you don't have to continue to do it all on your own anymore. Hello. How are we? I actually don't quite know how I am. Fine. And also there's like this weird, well, ladies, you know that week leading up before your period where you're just kind of agitated, but nothing really happened. That's sort of the energy within my body for the last week. However, fun little fact, the week before my period doesn't come for about another 5 days. So it's going to be a fun month. Yay me. But like everything is good. My Hyrox training, the last couple days have been a little off. I need desperately to get a massage and go to the chiropractor because I went out for my 5-mile run today and it turned into 3 miles because something about me is if I don't run far away from my house, I will run back to my house. And I went out for my run today. And yesterday there was a man who was wearing long sleeves. It's like 900 million degrees here right now, but he was running this like flat loop around my neighborhood. It's hills everywhere around me. And it's the only flat, it's about a mile. And I was on my walk and I was like, that guy's nuts. He's wearing long sleeves and just running the most boring loop ever. But then this morning I was just feeling a little off. And I was like, you know what? It's shaded for most of it. I'm going to just run that loop 5 times. That did not happen. I ran it 3 times and I don't know if you're a runner and I'm guessing my alignment is just off, but I felt like I was running on stumps, that my legs were just not doing the whole legging thing and carrying me. And then I hyper fixate on what is wrong with my gait and I can't get over it. So I just felt very tight. So I foam rolled a bunch and did all this stuff. And I woke up at 5:30. So I was out a whole hour before I needed to. So I had some nice time to foam roll afterwards. So it went well, but I tried doing sprints yesterday and kind of the same thing. So I need to do a little like R&R for my legs because they really shouldn't feel this tight, but they are so tight, like just super tight. But anyway, mentally, I'm doing really great with my training. So that's super fun. I saw that the new Hyrox schedule for 2027 comes out tomorrow. I am like full in. It's so funny. I didn't realize I did this until, I was full on sourdough, which I still make sourdough now. And now it's like, give me everything I can get. So I don't know what that is yet, but I definitely go all in on whatever it is and just gather everything I can possibly get and then kind of emerge in a less intense fashion with it. Anyway, all right, today I'm doing a follow-up episode from episode 129. So if you didn't listen, I would say go back and listen to that one, but I'll do a little recap here. But I really enjoyed that episode. It was inspired by my plants. We are all living, being things, and we are life. We are life. If I was a person that did edibles and things, I think I would be good because we are life. I could go down a whole thing with that thought, but I'm not. Many people say I should, but not. Anyway, I was talking about in that episode how I needed to repot my plants and there was nothing, they were fine, but they really needed a bigger space, a different space. And that happens to us in life where we have just outgrown the spaces that we're in and we need to essentially repot ourselves. Anyway, if you are on YouTube, you have got like this. So it is a spider plant, I believe is what it's called. Oh, maybe not. I don't know, but it's long and it grows like babies off of it. I should have checked what kind of plant it is before. So if you're on YouTube, you can see that I am showing you that this thing has like 30 babies that it sprouted off of it after repotting it. And it had none of that prior. It was just doing its spidery looking thing up there. And now it has all these babies. And this thing inspires me every day. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because if you think about the concept of repotting yourself or putting yourself in different space, cutting off spaces that no longer serve you, it feels so scary. And it can feel like you have to do a complete overhaul of your life, which a lot of times keeps us from the change because you think you have to like just scrap everything and change everything, when in reality, you just have to do a few things. But it's still, it feels very uncomfortable. But when we can embrace that in between phase of life, which I really actually think is basically all of life, is the in between. But when we can know this is going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to get through this. I mean, my plant is fucking flourishing. And you don't know yet the flourishing that is on the other side of taking yourself out of one space and putting yourself in a different space. I truly believe that in your body that you have a feeling that something is not right. You have a knowing that something is off and that something has to change. But it's scary, right? So we don't do it. One of the things, like I'm just like this plant, I'm not even kidding. It's in my bathroom. I haven't found an actual, it's still in its like pot, like nursery type pot. I have these plastic ones that I replanted and then I put them in prettier pots. I haven't found a pretty pot for it yet. So she's still in the in-between. Anyway, this plant is inspiring me to keep going, to stay the course, to stay focused, because we lose sight of the reasoning when we get into the weeds of life, when we get stressed, when we get overwhelmed. We lose sight of going forward. We lose sight of the idea that it's not always going to be this way, that there is hope and opportunity and joy, lightness on the other side. And we need to get there. We need to do the learning. We need to be scared. I think there's this resistance to the idea of being scared and what scared feels like. And once you've done it enough, it's not as scary. The nervousness starts shifting and feeling different. But if you're scared adverse, I don't know if that's a thing, but it is now, and you get close to it and it's like, ooh, that I can't do that. I can't do that. Then you never get to fucking fly. And you're supposed to. We are meant to be like my beautiful, amazing plant that is sprouting. You don't have to sprout all the babies, but whatever space you're supposed to create for yourself, we are meant to be there. And the reason that you feel discomfort now is because the space that you have is not meant for you any longer. It served its purpose, but now you have to move on. You have to move on one step at a time, one baby step at a time, God, I'm really scared and I'm going to do it anyway, feeling at a time. I don't know what to do and I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And then realize maybe maybe that interview didn't go well, or maybe you're like, that your job is not right for you anymore. So you're seeking things out. The only way to find what is right for you is to make those connections, have those interviews, explore. You can't find what is better for you if you don't know what's even out there. Or maybe you're just in relationships that are crushing you and you've allowed these yourself to kind of show up certain ways in relationships, and you know in your full being because when you are in community with these people, friends, whatever it is, your body is giving you signals that this is not right anymore. And then it's your job to be like, okay, what does this mean? Let me sit with that. Let me look at what I need to create for myself. Who do I even, who, maybe you've changed so much and you just need to hang out with other people, but you don't like, my whole thing is you don't know what's possible if you don't allow yourself to feel that discomfort of that in between in order to find out what is possible for yourself. You're just holding yourself back, and that's no fun. And, that's why, well, one, that's why I love doing what I do, because I get to be that person, which I talked about on last week's episode, like linking arms and arm with you and walk with you on that, because it is scary. You can do it. Sometimes it's better to do it with somebody else that's like your hype girl, but you can do it. And one of the other kind of big things that if you kind of start on the repotting journey and you think it has to, like, this girl, she like took off and sprouted. I don't know if that's normal or not, because it literally like one of those overnight things, but it was like everything was all inside ready to go. And then as soon as I was like, okay, we're doing this, it was like, oh, I'm ready. But it doesn't always happen that way. A lot of times I've talked about my kind of in between journey that I've been on for the last 3 years of kind of figuring out what is my next chapter. I've told you I like that intensity of going all in. Well, I don't know what the fuck I'm going all in on. So I am having to exercise this patience and not be scared of this sort of lull, and not be scared of not knowing, and continuing trusting the process of everything. If I reflect back, every time that I have been brave enough to just be uncomfortable and to step into that and be okay staying in that, the benefit has been tenfold. It's ridiculous, the benefit of it. But a lot of times we have this timeline that we think like it's going to happen by this time, or we say like, I want it to happen by this time. And then we get discouraged if it doesn't. Or maybe we've told people, I want to have this job change by this time or next year. And then we feel embarrassed. You release that shit. Release the timeline. That is not something like control the controllables has been a big topic within my groups and one-on-one. What are the things that are within your control? Then let's put all of your focus on that. You cannot control people outside of it, outside of yourself. We have to release that. And the timeline is absolutely one of the things to release, because we see out there on social media where you think it's like an overnight thing, or you compare yourself, or you hear other people's story. That's not your story. It's not your story. It's not meant to be your story. You have things to gather. You have things to learn. You have that braveness to collect. And then it will happen. And maybe, how many times have you had it where you had a certain expectation of what was to be, and then along the way you realized, oh, that's not actually what I wanted anyway. I found something, this makes me feel alive. And really that's what it's all about, like being alive and excited and being able to delight in your day, because we ain't going to be here forever. And why are we wasting time being afraid and not going for the shit we want to go for, because we'd rather be comfortable in this shitty situation, when really there is so much on the other side of that unknown fear chapter. It's just a chapter. It's just space and time, and you will get past it. 100% you will. You just need to start going through it, right? What do they say? Like, I've heard these like TikToks of, it's going to take 3 years to achieve, a degree or whatever it is. And they're like, well, the 3 years is going to pass no matter what. So this next year is going to pass no matter what. Would you rather get a little bit uncomfortable and start making the changes that you actually want to make? Or would you rather, in a year from now, be in the same fucking place, uncomfortable and miserable as you are now? The year is going to pass no matter what. So what are you going to do with it? So that's all I got. Just to recap, I wanted to show off my plant that is just motherfucking thriving. She is a beauty and inspires me. Oh, that's one other thing. Find things that inspire you along the way. I am real big on the like putting little notes places or just the reminders to keep you going and give you that fuel, because it can be a little lonely. Find your person to do it with. Me, you can do it with, but just finding the things to give you that fuel and fire to keep you going. And it can be something as silly as a plant or, whatever is your jam. But it can be a little isolating when you're doing these things, because a lot of times when I work with people, they feel like they're all alone, even though we are all in some kind of form of the same thing. So you are not alone. All right. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time. Spirit of a Badass is a Lit Path Studios podcast and is produced by Jamie Gale and Alecia Jacobson. Music by Shane Ivers. We'll be back with another inspiring interview. Until then, keep your spirits high and your energy badass.